I am Camden Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. We're live anytime need us at cwg.live. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and X, and live on cwg.live, our blog 24/7. We're talking about flooding downpours, potentially a little bit tonight, still to come, flood watch until 2 a.m. And then we could see another flood watch issue tomorrow for a similar situation where we could see some downpours, storms roaming the region and some of these downpours could cause flooding again tomorrow. Rosemary, thanks for tuning in. Amy, Dauntless, Keely, uh, Grip, and LGM, and Dill, and Ron B, good to see you as well. All right, so Ruth Lisa, good to see you as well. Radar, luckily, kind of quiet in the region for now. We've had some downpours hit the region the last couple of days, and we could see more of the same tomorrow, if not parts of this week as well. Right now, the National Weather Service has a flood watch until 2 a.m. issued for the region. We could see another flood watch tomorrow, as we mentioned a moment ago. Downpours are a threat tomorrow. Slight chance, kind of a 2 out of 5 chance of seeing some downpours cause some flooding tomorrow. Quick 1, 2, 3 inches of rain cannot be ruled out. The atmosphere is extremely moist. And on top of the downpour, the flooding downpour potential tomorrow, we could see some wind gusts, damaging wind gusts possibly, ever so slight chance, over 57 miles per hour, and a couple storms. So we'll need to watch that in addition to the flooding downpours tomorrow, a little bit of a double threat. But luckily, not as big a chance for damaging wind gusts over 57 miles per hour as it is for flooding downpours tomorrow. Precipitation this week will pulse up and down. Think of an atmosphere having a heartbeat. We could see just up and down pulsings of storms, especially in the afternoon and evening hours throughout much, if not all, of this week. We've got a cold front that slowly sags from northwest to southeast into the region. It dissipates, it kind of dies over our region later Monday into Tuesday. But this keeps the atmosphere soupy. This keeps a little bit of a trigger possible in our area as the front slowly dies. We have just all the ingredients in place for taking advantage of the atmosphere being soupy and juicy. So we will see rainfall amounts in the next 7 days, 1, 2, 3 inches of rain. Can't be ruled out. And a lot of this could come in your location in 1 or 2 downpours, a few of which could cause flooding. And we might see another flood watch issued tomorrow. So clouds best characterized as a mix of clouds and sun this week. I lean toward a slightly brighter end to the week than the beginning of the week, but it's a very moist atmosphere, so clouds are going to be hanging around at times for much of this week. And speaking of soupiness and some sultriness, the dew points are going to be in the mid 70s, maybe even some upper 70s at times. So expect discomfort. Expect maybe by the middle end of the week we could see some heat index values. That's when you combine the air temperature with the high humidity. It could feel like over 100 degrees, but before all is said and done with this work week in a few places. So that is worth considering. It might get a little hotter, a little steamier middle end of the week as we potentially see some more sun as well. All right, David, good evening to you. Dave, good evening. Julia, you're most welcome. Hope you have a great week. Severe thunderstorms ever so slightly possible tomorrow. Kind of a 1 out of 5 chance of seeing some damaging wind gusts of over 57 miles per hour. A 2 out of 5 chance, slightly higher thing we're eyeing tomorrow, 2 out of 5 chance for flooding downpours. So that is a little bit more concern than the potential for damaging wind gusts tomorrow. Scott, so far, I'm sorry about lightning on Wednesday nights. So far, lightning chances are a little bit lower than recently. So I'm sorry to hear about your house being struck, Scott. Typical July weather, it's fairly typical, David, but I would offer that the tropical atmosphere and having a trigger, an instigator, and a spark to maybe wring out the wet sponge that is our atmosphere in July. That's a little bit unusual to potentially wring some of it out in the form of downpours. 1, 2, 3 inches of very rapid rain could fall with some downpours this week, in particular tomorrow is what we're eyeing for tomorrow. Another flood watch is possible. And tonight's also goes through 2 a.m. Even though radar has quieted down, it might not be the end of all activity in the region, so we need to keep an eye on things there. Sandy, hello. Thanks for tuning in. And Lori, I'm sorry about the heat doing in your tomato plants. Very sorry. Sandy, triple H weather out here on the eastern part of the bay. Hazy, hot, humid. Yep. If you're hopefully on the water, it should feel a little more breathable. Ruth Elisa, stormy week ahead. Yes, indeed. I see rain chances every day this week, especially afternoon and evening hours. We could see a few strong to severe storms, even flooding downpours are 2 out of 5 chance for tomorrow, but I don't want to completely rule them out again later this week. And even tomorrow's 1 out of 5 high wind threat inside thunderstorms. It's lower than the flooding downpour threat, but I see we could, before the week is done, have some more strong storms in the region as well. So we need to be monitoring that. All right, let's see. We've got uh, Sandy, Lori, Ruth, Elisa. Excellent to see you. And looks like I'm live on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram, and at cwg.live. This is our weekly Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat. I am Camden Walker. Thanks for tuning in for our weekly chat. It's 20 minutes, and we are talking about the humid week ahead with a chance for strong storms with flooding downpours and maybe a slighter chance for damaging wind gusts tomorrow. So we're watching a quieter radar tonight, luckily for now, but the flood watch goes until 2 a.m. So let's not completely let our guard down. Flood watches throughout the entire region going up half of the eastern seaboard. This is where rains are targeting us. Even into tomorrow, we could see another flood watch in this area hoisted with a 2 out of 5 chance for flooding downpours tomorrow and a 1 out of 5 chance for damaging wind gusts over 57 miles per hour. So storms and downpours on tap tomorrow. And much of this week, we are going to have a hard time escaping them, but hopefully their intensity not quite as strong as tomorrow. A little bit of a pulse up tomorrow as a front dies over our region later tomorrow into Tuesday. So that is kind of the instigator while we think some of the focus comes into the DC area with the ringing out of our very tropical, moist atmosphere. Rainfall amounts over the next 7 days, 1, 2, 3 inches it's pretty easy. And we could even see 1, 2, 3 inches in just 1 or 2 downpours, even tomorrow. So that's something we need to watch. Clouds are generally a mix of mixing in with the sunshine for much of this week. I lean toward a brighter end of the week and a little cloudier maybe at the beginning of the week. And temperatures kind of follow suit. We do see maybe a slight warming trend with additional sunshine and maybe lower rain chances middle and late part of this week, but it is going to feel very steamy, very hot. Dew points mid, maybe upper 70s, sultry, oppressive. And we could see a heat index around or above 100 by the time we get to the later part of the week as well. Tropics checking in really quick. A low chance, maybe middle to the end of this week, we see something develop in the Gulf of Mexico as a trough, kind of an unorganized lower pressure line of storms, of showers are moving across Florida from east to west, actually. So that might continue westward and has maybe a 20% chance of developing in the next 7 days. The National Hurricane Center is kind of thinking middle to later part of this week at the earliest, but worth bearing watching that. The next storm on the list is Dexter, and allergy sufferers. It's been personally kind of okay this week. Hopefully, you can say the same. Grasses and spores are kind of moderate for the local amounts, otherwise low on the dashboard there. And by the way, I do this most Saturdays on cwg.live, so check out my more detailed report yesterday and most Saturdays going forward. Now, medium to long term, looking at next work week, the atmosphere is with a slight lean toward above average temperatures, kind of preferring it might lean above average for our temperatures next work week. And maybe we'll add more onto our heat tracker. We have surged ahead of average for the number of 90-degree days this year. We were tracking kind of behind schedule, and now we're ahead of schedule. Normally, average year to date is 16, and we have at least 18 so far. Looking also at next work week for precipitation signals, the atmosphere leaning kind of toward above average, ever so slight chance for above average, but rather than below average precipitation for next work week. All right, we're watching the flood watch. We're monitoring the situation. Radar has quieted down for now over much of the region, but we might see another uptick in activity before midnight, and the flood watch does continue until 2 a.m. Maybe we do see one or two more downpours as well. And this flood watch in the dark green below, we could see another one issued tomorrow as well. Eric, indeed, the drought is over. Only a little bit around Baltimore and into northeastern Maryland, but D1 on the scale, the first level of drought. And I think even in that area, almost the entirety of that little region in northeastern quadrant of Maryland has seen above average precipitation over the last 30 days. Hello, Stephen Culpepper. No end to the humidity in sight, I'm afraid. Dew point scale comes back on for sultry, oppressive mid to upper 70s dew points are possible this week. Laureate drought is indeed over. And Donna, hello. I'm really good to see you from Iowa. And Paul, lots of storms and fizzling near Purcellville. Please keep us posted. The flood watch going until 2 a.m. Still, you still have a chance. And even tomorrow, we could see another flood watch, Paul. So I think it's a fairly safe bet you see a little bit of rain. Let's see, Vegan on X, you stay safe as well in these storms and downpours coming up this week. Sandy, you're most welcome. I appreciate you tuning into us at cwg.live, our weekly 20-minute Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat. I'm Camden Walker. We're live on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. Capital Weather is our tag on most, if not all, of these services. And we've got Amy watching a pink sunset. Excellent to hear. And severe thunderstorm watch tomorrow. 1 out of 5 chance, David. 20% chance we see that tomorrow. I think it's more likely a 2 out of 5 chance that we do see a flood watch tomorrow, more likely than a severe thunderstorm watch. But to review, a 2 out of 5 chance for downpours causing some flooding tomorrow. A quick 1, 2, 3 inches of rain are possible in the yellow. And let's see, we've got a 1 out of 5 chance, ever so slight chance for damaging wind gusts in that bottom panel. Damaging wind gusts are possible in much of the region uh, for tomorrow, but it's only a 1 out of 5 chance. So it's a very slim chance that we see damaging wind gusts in any storms over 57 miles per hour. More concerning is the flooding downpour potential for tomorrow, a 2 out of 5 chance. And let's see, we've got Aaron, good evening. Thanks for tuning in on X. And yes, David, possible 75-degree dew point or a little higher is possible this week. Let's hope not, but I do want to warn everyone it could feel sultry to oppressive at times, especially if we do tip into the upper 70s dew points, ever so slightly possible this week. Very tropical, very moist atmosphere, and that's why we're talking about the downpour threat perhaps causing some flooding. Not only tonight's flood watch until 2 a.m., but another flood watch seems like a decent bet for tomorrow, especially afternoon hours in toward the midnight hour tomorrow as well. Yep, Ruth Lisa flood watch tonight until 2 a.m. and then again perhaps tomorrow. It hasn't been issued officially yet, but we're seeing the signals there at this time. Lewis, for the DC area, smoke from the Canadian wildfires is going to stay to our northwest this week, 95% of it. So no air quality concerns, very little, if any, haze this week. Very humid, Ruth Elisa reports today, and then rainy. Let's see, we've got Paul with 1.42 inches of rain over the past week in Purcellville. Let me put the rain cloud over my head. We've got downpours again forecast for tomorrow. And let's look at the regional potential for these downpours. A 2 out of 5 chance tomorrow that we see in the yellow. Downpours turn into potential flash flooding. And then a 1 out of 5 chance, this lower panel, for some strong winds over 57 miles per hour. That would be damaging wind gusts and storms tomorrow, which is a slighter risk, less of a risk threat than these flooding downpours potentially for tomorrow. Right now, radar is still clear, but we do have this flood watch until 2 a.m., so we don't want to completely let our guard down tonight. And then a few hours before sunrise, it should dry out briefly, maybe some patchy fog. And then I think showers are potentially around tomorrow morning, but the storm downpour threat should wait until midday into the afternoon and evening hours, I think, for tomorrow. Yes, David, I'm glad you like the rain cloud theme over my head with the 2 thumbs down. David, I generally would not water your plants in the AM. I hope my dad is listening. Do not water the plants. There's plenty of rain around. Lisa, thanks for tuning in from Facebook. And we've got Ruth Lisa with asking about flood watch versus warning. Ingredients are in place for a watch, but it's not actually occurring until there's a warning. I hope that is a nice, succinct answer for you. Storm chances greater south of Route 70, Dave. I think I lean yes. Laura, you're most welcome. Thanks for the kind words. And we've got Lisa saying it's like Florida humidity here. Yes, indeed. This is certifiable. Let me pull up our dew point scale. This mid to upper 70s dew points, definitely what if it was last time I was in Florida. Let's see. Yes, Ruth Lisa. I love that you like the cloud. And Gary, thanks so much for tuning in from YouTube. And David, I'm glad you could see everything tonight. Appreciate you tuning in from Facebook. Excellent. All right. I am Camden Walker. About 4.5 more minutes. We're live on CWG.live. That's where we are 24/7. This link is free for friends and family, no paywall. So please spread this word, friends and family, and yourself, CWG.live. Also live right now at Capital Weather on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. This is our 20-minute live Sunday Sunset Live Q&A. And I'm Camden Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. We do this every week, and I appreciate seeing all of you on our 5 channels right now. Dew points are going to be sultry to oppressive this week. Tropics update really quick. It is a slight, ever so slight chance, middle to late part of this week, maybe something develops in the Gulf of Mexico. We have time to watch it. If it does develop into a tropical storm with sustained winds 39 miles per hour or higher, it would be the D storm. The fourth name on the list is Dexter. And a quick allergen update. As you may have seen yesterday at CWG.live, most Saturdays I do try and do an allergen update for my fellow allergy sufferers. We're moderate in grasses and mold spores, but low in tree and weeds. So depending on your pollen profile, what you're allergic to, hopefully you're feeling okay, like I am this week. Okay. Looking at next work week, temperatures are leaning above average. We could add more days to our heat tracker, which tracks on the blog at cwg.live the number of days we've seen where it's 90 degrees or hotter. We're now running above average for this time of year. Normal average to date of 16 days where we're 90 or hotter, and we've had 18 at least. Precipitation for next work week. Again, this is the medium term, kind of looking at the signals for next week. The atmosphere is leaning above average with precipitation, so a slight chance for above average precipitation next work week. All right, just to reiterate the last couple minutes here, flood watch in effect tonight until 2 a.m. We should probably see another one, I think, tomorrow with the flooding downpour threat. But right now, radar, we need to monitor, until at least midnight tonight or so. Currently quiet, but we've seen some flooding downpours and flood warnings in the DC area today. Probably seeing that tomorrow, especially in the yellow, and I shouldn't say probably, it's a 2 out of 5 chance, right? So it's not a high likelihood, but this is unusual that we see even a 2 out of 5 chance for a flooding downpour potential day. Tomorrow, particularly afternoon and evening hours. Now, a lesser threat, 1 out of 5 chance, but worth mentioning, maybe a couple storms produce damaging wind gusts in that lower panel there. So damaging wind gusts, 1 out of 5 chance of seeing inside some storms, 57 mile per hour gusts or higher tomorrow as well, in addition to the 2 out of 5 chance for downpours producing some flooding. Precipitation animation for the entire week, you can see pulsing up and down like a heartbeat. The atmosphere is going to be loving to rain on us for most afternoons, if not all afternoon and evenings this week. So have in the back of your mind a plan B for some rain plans, indoor rain scenario. But we think a little bit of decrease in rain chances by end of the week and a little more sun as well. Clouds are generally preferring the early part of the week, a mix of clouds and sun, and then maybe a little more sun at the middle and end of the week when, as you'll notice above me here, the temperatures kind of go up by the end of the week. And heat index values with these dew points in the mid to upper 70s this week, which are pretty sultry, oppressive, we could feel like over 100 degrees by the end of the week as well when combining air temperature with humidity. And rainfall amounts are just to reiterate, it's a very wet week with these hit or miss tropical downpours and storms, potentially 1 to 3 inches pretty easily in much of the area. And a lot of this could fall in your location with 1 or 2 downpours this week. So that's the reason we're concerned about kind of too much too quickly. This might not be spread out over 7 days. This is a 7-day rainfall map, but some of this might be in just a few hours if you are unlucky enough to see a flooding downpour or two in your neighborhood this week. All right, I think that is all for now. Just reiterating the downpour threat, 2 out of 5 chance for tomorrow. Flood watch tonight until 2 a.m. and another one we think is going to be issued tomorrow, just for everyone to be a little weather aware, stay cautious, and stay safe. Remember, turn around, don't drown if you encounter flood waters in front of you. It's really good talking to you for our 20-minute live Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat. Camden Walker at CWG.live signing off. Thanks for tuning in to all 5 of our channels tonight, social media and on the blog. We're there 24/7. That's a free link, no paywall. Spread the news to friends and family. Donna, you're most welcome. Liz and April and Paul. And yep, rainy each day, generally speaking, with high humidity, very Florida like weather. And you're most welcome, David. I'll see you next Sunday. It's really good seeing you every week. And you, Ruth Lisa, as well. And Dave, you have a great week as well. And Marie as well. All right. Take care for now. And I will see you next Sunday. All right.